Who will ascend? I'm Ann Tucker, and this is the Spirit Means Business YouTube channel. And that comment or that question has come up several times in the comments. People are wondering, what does it take to ascend? What determines whether someone ascends or doesn't? And so I recently channeled an answer to that question from the angels. So for those of you who are meeting me for the first time here, I'm a trance channel. I channel from the angelic realm. So to do that, I raise my awareness up as high as it can go, and then a little bit higher, and then I hear messages, and it's like a dictation. I write those down, and then I share them with you guys verbatim. So, and over the last several months, I've been sharing a lot of messages about what's coming this fall. Everything from they're talking about a giant earth rift, which they're thinking of the date I've gotten for that. The way I interpreted that, what they said was 11/11. They talked about the banks closing for an extended period of time. They've talked about not being able to move money. They've talked about the truck drivers abandoning their routes. So there's all kinds of craziness that they're discussing for this fall. Also a blackout, a solar flare. So there's lots of things they're talking about possibly happening this fall. And again, these are all potentialities. As far as we know, we're still headed down that timeline, that these are still things that we are thinking may happen very soon. So anyway, so this big question is, at the end of all this craziness, we are headed to a place where humanity is ascending, and that is that the planet Earth itself is ascending, and in order to stay here, we ourselves have to ascend. We have to raise our vibration in order to be compatible with the planet. And not everybody is ready to do that. Some people are choosing to not do that, and that they would rather stay on the karmic path. They would rather stay working through their issues. Maybe there's certain things that they're not ready to let go of, or there's certain things where they feel like they have more soul progress can be attained for them by staying with the way things are with the karmic path. So, and I have a whole video about that, about what happens to the people who choose not to ascend. No one is forgotten. That's a big message from the angels, that everyone is cared for, and there is an alternate place for those people to continue on that path. For the people who don't choose to stay on Earth, who don't choose to stay with this ascension process. But watch that video. That's a whole separate message. Today I want to share with you what makes the difference, what determines whether someone ascends or chooses not to. So let me share with you the message that I got. The angel said, and I'll just read this to you, we have much to say. You are ready to receive. We are delighted to have this opportunity to explore with you the beacon of hope that you are moving toward. And they're talking here about our ascension. Ascend and find out how. We have much to say. You are ready to receive. We are delighted to have this opportunity to explore with you the beacon of hope that you are moving toward. Ascend and find how you are going to be. You are curious, worried, fretting about what will occur, what will happen. We are clearing your fears as they arise if you are allowing. We have now instructed our regents to be ready for your being to experience this arrival, for your own self to be lifted as it once was before in our embrace. You are now surrounded by our people, and we are guiding your expatriation into a new hollow, a new way of being now ready for your occupation. So let's digest that paragraph a little bit, because sometimes they'll use wording that can be hard to understand. And so what I believe they're saying here in this last part, where they're saying, you are now surrounded by our people, and we are guiding your expatriation into a new hollow. That expatriation is sort of like you're leaving your belonging from one place and be belonging to a new place, right? You are no longer belonging to the third dimension, or the way things are right now. You are belonging to the new one. You are ascending. And they say into a new hollow, a new way of being, now ready for your occupation. And when I think of the word hollow, I think of like Sleepy Hollow. I think that's from a book, but it's like a glen, or like a place, like a location, a place where you might have a home, located like nestled into the ground somewhere. That's what I think of. And there is a place in a book called Sleepy Hollow. Maybe that's, what book is that? Anyways, maybe one of you know. But anyways, and it's ready for your occupation. So I think they're just talking about that we're ready to move into this new reality, and they're describing it in a really comforting way. in a really positive way, that is, a beacon of hope, right? You may find this process slow. It will occur within the period of your 2 lives. Within your own hyper-drawn torment, you will find our experts there. And again, when exalted, you are yet in our kiss. We have landed to fortify you so that you may be at either pole and find this path. And I think what they're saying there is that as we're going through right now, everything that's going on in the world, there is a lot of ups and downs, right? There's so much stress and anxiety in the world with the, here in the US, we have the election, there's COVID, there's all this stuff going on, and people are isolated and they're lonely, and it's not like it is a natural thing for us to have ups and downs right now. And I think that's just what they're acknowledging here, that even if you are in, like as they described it, a hyper-drawn torment, that they are there, and when you are exalted, they are also there. So either way, whichever pole that we're at in terms of our own emotional journey, they said, don't worry, that we will still find the path. However, do not try to find us when all is asunder. It must be after the cloud has passed, after all has become equal and one field is open to another. So this is interesting when they say that in terms of when, and they've said in previous channelings that they are going to become visible to us here on earth after this ascension, that as we ascend, that we will be able to see them, physically see them, which is pretty awesome. And that I think they're saying here, don't look for them until after it's over. And I don't know if they're talking about a metaphorical cloud here. They say after the cloud has passed, so that could be a metaphorical cloud, or it could be referring to the actual physical cloud that they've described in previous channelings, where they've talked about when the earth rift happens, that there's supposed to be this cloud of stuff that comes up into the atmosphere. And there's also supposed to be potentially, I've heard from cross-checking my channelings with other people's channelings, that a large amount of from the ocean, a lot of water is going to boil off and go up into the ocean, create this really, really thick cloud cover. And that could stay, maybe that could stay for a couple of years, I don't know. But so this cloud, when they say don't look for us until after the cloud has passed, it's hard to say when that is, because they could be talking the metaphorical cloud of sort of all the chaos, or it could be the actual physical cloud that we're anticipating through this earth rift that they've been talking about. You are going to experience some disturbance as we are heading into this fracas. It will elevate the earth, and you will find that all are not capable of remaining. However, more have become open, more are listening to our call. We have asked you each at the superconscious level to assume this new valence, and not all have responded. Some have asked to remain within this period of Sulta, to be themselves tried anew, to bring about their greatest healing. They are yet consumed with fear and loathing, with pride, bereft of good omen. We are sure they will be cared for and led to another venture. So just to break down some of what they said there, they said, okay, we're going to be experiencing some craziness here on Earth. They did confirm, yes, this is about the Earth elevating, like I mentioned earlier, and that, that they said not all are capable of remaining, because not everybody is ready to move to that higher frequency. They said that which is great. They said a lot more are becoming opening and listening to their call, and they're speaking to us at the superconscious level. So they're speaking to our higher selves, and it is the higher self that is engaged in this process of determining whether we stay or go, whether we stay and ascend or not. They said that they asked at the superconscious level to whether or not that, or asked us to assume this new valence, this new frequency, and not all have responded. Some have asked to remain within this period of Sulta. And Sulta, I looked that up, and sometimes the angels will throw in a word I don't know, throw in words I don't know. Sometimes they will use words in other languages. Sulta is a root word that means like authority, control, power. It's the root word for sultan. And so I interpret that to mean that it's a period of authority and control, which is like the karmic cycle, right? Is it where we're being controlled, where we don't have full control over what's going on in our lives, where we're sort of on the karmic wheel. And so that, I believe, is what they're referring to there, sort of that karmic wheel, as being a period of sulta. And so some have asked to remain within that, to be themselves tried anew to bring about their greatest healing. So this might make sense, the most sense for some people. They may look at where they are in terms of their path and say that there are certain things where they can have their greatest healing, that they can make the greatest soul progress by staying on the karmic path and continuing with that. So that this choice would be made at the superconscious level. They are yet consumed with fear and loathing, with pride, bereft of good omens. So these are, maybe they have, so they still have emotions that are stuck within their system, things like that, energies that they haven't cleared yet, that they're still working on. And here they're very specific. We are sure they will be cared for and led to another venture. So that's the thing I talked about in my previous channeling about what happens to those people who are not ascending. And that's another video. So you can catch that. All of the videos on the channelings are all in one playlist on this channel. So you can see them all if you want to just kind of scroll through and find the topics, but they're all important in my view. They're all important messages. Okay, so you are wondering about how you may be sure all are not lost, how you are sure to ascend. You are certain if you are aware of the question. That is all it takes. Are you open to the energies? Are you willing to climb our tower of trust and be enveloped in our arms once again? Will you proceed with your unwilling avoidance or open to our call? Heed our energy, beckoning you at all times, asking permission to mingle with your own. And we will through to you be clear always. You can rest assured we are here. We are worthy of your leap. Be well within our touch and feel the purchase of our embrace. It is all happening for your internal upliftment, to improve your own feeling, to experience oneness once again. So I think this is really cool. Is basically they're saying that they really, really want all of us to ascend, everyone who's ready. They see it, like what we're heading towards is amazing. It's beautiful. Some of the things they've told us about what's coming are just fantastic. And they're saying here what they're, as long as someone is willing, that's all it really takes, is that if someone is open and listening, because what they're saying here is that they are helping us through this process. They're helping us to ascend. So they're saying they want to mix their energies with our own in order to help us to reach that level. So and it's really about will we proceed with our unwilling avoidance or open to their call? Heed our energy, beckoning you at all times, asking permission to mingle with your own. And that's a big point there, is that the angels cannot mess with us without our permission. That they literally, because of free will, they need our clear permission. It has to be a yes, please do this. And it can't be a subtle sort of, it needs to be very specifically clear, yes, please do this. So, and that's all it takes. So it's the awareness of what's going on is what's going to help you to be able to give your permission and then to be open to it. And they said, yes, it takes a leap of trust, to trust them, to have faith that there is something beyond earth, right? That there is, the angels are real, all of that. It's that, and that's part of the trust that we have. But I think that's really, really cool, that it's really all that it takes. And they said, okay, let me go on here. They said, it is all happening for your internal upliftment, to improve your own feeling, to experience oneness once again. You have asked us, am I forsaken? Am I forgotten? Never. You are precious to all angels and above. You are watched and guarded. We have lingered over your efforts and added our enchantment to improve your divine outcome. We are here in constant observation of your benefit. We are yours in all meaning. Do not fear the possibility of being forsaken. No, it is unfathomable. So I think it's just beautiful. They are telling us is that there is no one that is forgotten. And they've said over and over again how precious we are to them, that they are they are with us, supporting us in all moments. And so they're saying the idea that someone might be worried, are they going to be forgotten or forsaken? They're saying no. And so if you're worried about the people that you love, right? If you have friends or family members that you think are really not open to this, right? That are really not, that they're closed and that they're still very tied to their karmic path, to know that they are not forsaken either. And there is a very specific path for them to continue growing and evolving as a soul. It's just a different path. And there's no judgment in that at all. It's just a different choice. So anyways, I think it's a lovely message. I was really excited to be able to share this one with you. And if you want to hear more messages like this one, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. You can do that using this little button in the corner. You can also go down in the description down below. There is a place where you can subscribe. I am also on Facebook. I have a Facebook group called the Spirit Means Business Facebook group, and I'm live there every Friday sharing more messages. So I'd hope to see you there as well. So thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you here again soon. Bye.